Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Civilspedia's Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy, and today's date is 25th of July 2025. In this video, we are going to discuss about the following topics, and the topics taken for today's discussion are the Delhi air pollution, common central secretariat, and the Lantana, Camara, an invasive species which was found abundant in the regions of Himachal Pradesh, and NIRDPR, which is also known as National Institution for Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, and the fifth topic is the Smart Irrigation Program, which was recently devised. And in this topic for discussion, it was recently in news because of the Delhi's air quality crisis recently reappeared in the news because of the revampation need in the policy actions taken for meddling out the pollution issue in the Delhi region, that is National Capital Region. And it is in the context that winter pollution is a recurring crisis in the regions of Delhi and around the National Capital Regions or the National Capital Territory. But it will be occur only during and the revampation measures needs to be taken around July or August, and it is crucial for the preparation of mitigating out the climatic calamities happened around the Delhi region. This time was crucial because the current political alignment was with the center and along the national capital regions or the states around the Delhi also very cognizable very cohesive for the development or the betterment and open the door for the opportunity to make the coordinated actions to mitigate out the air pollution measures in the Delhi region. And what are all the key challenges that involves in the preparation of this mitigation of air pollution in the national capital region is the transboundary pollution from Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and Rajasthan, which these states are major cause for the pollution due to stubble burning activities in this area because they are agrarian society. This agrarian society produce more number of agriculture products which lead to the stubble burning activities for further production. So it leads to transboundary pollution and the fragmented governance because these states are governed under separate rules and regulations, and it leads to the fragmented governance along this areas, and the inconsistent policies which leads to the further aggravation of this air pollution in the Delhi capital region. And the inconsistent policies surrounds vehicle age limits, pet coke bans, and other kiln activities, the stubble burning activities, etc. And the implementation gaps also plays a major role and or the key challenges in the mitigation of this air pollution in the national capital region. And with respect to the national capital region, there is a separate body called the Commission for Air Quality Management, which was established under the separate act, and it is a statutory body, and it also has the overriding powers with respect to national capital region air quality management and the adjoining areas around the Delhi region. And it also its success ratio also depends on the cooperation between the regions and around the national capital territory. And what are all the missed opportunities for taking action into this matter is that the Mali Declaration of 1988 also urges the regional air pollution control management in that area. So as India is also a part of this Mali Declaration, but it also lacks the legal backing for that enforcement of this Mali Declaration. And also the there is a Supreme Court intervention for specifically for mitigating the air quality management or the air pollution around the Delhi national capital region, but it is not enough for the enforcement of these measures. And what are all the way forwards or the way ahead for this air pollution issue around the national capital region is that to leverage the political alignment and to enhance the joint action by integrating more bodies into this and to mitigate out using the very viable manner, and to empower the separate body which was created for the mitigation of this air pollution around the national capital territory, that is CAQM, that is Commission for Air Quality Management around National Capital Region, which leads to the coordinated effort to mitigate out the pollution issues. And also measures need to be taken to standardize norms such as fuel usage norms, vehicle regulation norms, and the industrial control norms, which also leads to major air pollution issue in the National Capital Region. And it also has to revamp or scale up the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, the clean freight system, and the zigzag lanes in the National Capital Region. And moving to the prelims practice question, the Commission for Air Quality Management in the National Capital Region and adjoining areas, which was amended in the introduced in the year 2021, has which of the following features? It has overriding powers over state pollution control boards, which was a correct statement, as it has the overriding powers over the state pollution control boards, because it not only supervises or monitors the single state. It also it was established specifically for the National Capital Region and the surrounding states or the adjoining states. So it has the overriding powers. And the second statement, it was created through an executive order. It was not created as the executive order, so the second statement is incorrect. As it was introduced as a statutory body, it was proposed through a separate act for this manner. So the second statement is incorrect. So by eliminating the second statement from the option, we can easily arrive at the answer. Option B is the correct answer, but we have to look into the third statement. It is empowered to coordinate and supervise air quality management in National Capital Region and nearby areas, which is a correct statement. So option B is the correct answer, 1 and 3 only. Moving to the next topic. The Ministry of Home Affairs has been shifting out from the historical northern block, and it has shifted to the Common Central Secretariat building in the Janpath region as a part of Central Vistas program. As it was shifted out from the northern block, the Ministry of Home Affairs has been shifted to the Common Central Secretariat building on the center Janpath, which was situated in the New Delhi, and this was a part of Central Vistas redevelopment project. It was aimed to centralize and modernize Indian administrative infrastructure, as it creates a combined and cohesive environment for all the ministries in a center place. And it was this northern block was built during the British rule, and this was not the northern block alone, and it also contains the southern block, and it also has housed major institutions or the ministries like home, finance, defense, external sectors, and prime minister office also. And this northern and southern block will now be repurposed into huge Eugene Bharat National Museum, and it has been converted into this museum, and it also showcases around 25,000 to 30,000 artifacts, making it one of the largest museums in the world. And with respect to the northern and southern block, which was created in the British era, was created by the chief architect called Herbert Baker, and it was inaugurated in the year of 1921, and it was the northern and southern block was built as a part of Imperial Capital Complex, which was constructed along with the creation of New Delhi for the British administration. And this buildings was created with the red and cream sandstone, which also possess a great architectural feature or the architectural value to this Indian soil. And it features the classical and Mughal architectural influence on creating upon this northern and southern block, become the and eventually becomes the administrative seat for British Raj in India. And in this news, we have to note that we have to focus on the British style architecture, that is Indo-Saracenic architecture, as well as the Indian Mughal architecture. We have to take a quick review on that architectural point of view from prelims, and as well as the creation of Delhi on that time. And some facts about the Common Central Secretariat, which was part of Central Central Vista Redevelopment Project which was prominently led by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And the objective of this Central Vista Redevelopment project is to centralize the central government ministries which was of significance into a single complex for greater coordination, efficiency and cost effectiveness. And this infrastructure plan, it also includes the 10 office buildings and one integrated conference center for all these ministries, all located along the Kartavya path of New Delhi. And what are all the major ministries or the key ministries to be shifted to the common central secretariat 3 is that of listed below, that is Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, MSME Ministry, Rural Development Ministry, Department of Personnel and Training, and Office of Principal Scientific Advisor. And with respect to the key benefits and significance of this creation of this central common secretariat is that it leads to the better coordination and real-time collaboration among various ministries, and it also creates reduction in the traffic, reduction in the time, as well as the traffic issues, and also the pollution created out of this two issues. And more than 1,000 crore per year can be saved by vacating the building which was used as only for rent. And this developed CCS3 has designed specifically in an energy efficient manner, and it also has the green certification, and it also be able to be accessible to disabled person also. And after post-independence, this imperial building created during the British era was reclaimed by the people of India as a symbol of democratic governance. So this building of northern and southern block has been shifted or to be renovated or reoccurred as the museum for public exhibition, and this museum is called as Eugene Bharat Museum. It will reflect the India's civilization journey from the ancient to modern times. Moving to the prelims practice question with reference to the common central secretariat, consider the following statement. The first statement is, it is a part of Central Vista Redevelopment Project, which is correct, aimed at modernizing India's administrative infrastructure, which is also correct. And the second statement, the northern and southern blocks will be demolished after the offices are relocated, which is incorrect because it is created, it will be reconstructed or to be renovated as a museum, that is Eugene Bharat Museum. So it cannot be demolished. So the second statement is incorrect. And the third statement, the common central secretariat building are expected to save 1,000 crores annually in rented expenses, which is correct because apart from renting out or other administrative charges, it saves around 1,000 crores. So this third statement is correct. And the fourth statement, the architect of north and southern blocks was Sir Edwin Lutyens, which was incorrect because it was created by Haber. So the fourth statement is incorrect. By eliminating the 2 and 4 from the option, we can easily arrive at the answer. Option A is the correct answer. And these are all not the important topic with respect to this article. The important topic is around the architecture of British era as well as the Indian and Mughal culture, and also the development projects taken around this Central Vista program. And in this section of video, we are going to know about the Lantana Camara, an invasive plant species which was found across India, but it was found abundant in the regions of Himachal Pradesh, and actions need to be taken in a swift manner to eliminate or to eradicate this invasive species from that area to regenerate native species or the other biodiversity floras. And here you can see the bright flowering plant which is called as the Lantana Camara, and it was introduced into the India by the Britishers as an ornamental plant. And it is, as I said earlier, it is in news because it was infested around 3,25,000 15,282 hectares of forest lands in the Himachal Pradesh region, and it also a great threat to the native biodiversity, and recently was cleared from the Himachal Pradesh forest area. Around 51,000 hectares of Lantana Camara species has been cleared since 2009, and according to the experts' opinion, the action needs to be taken in a fast manner to eradicate or to eliminate these invasive species from the native forest lands of Himachal Pradesh, which also has to be linked with the livelihood linked management program to actively eradicate this species from this area. And some we have to know something about extra about the Lantana camara, because it is a native it is an invasive species, have the native or origin from the Central or South America, and it was introduced into the India by the 18th century by Britishers as an ornamental plant, and the nature of this species is an invasive alien species, that is an evil IAS, that is invasive alien species. And it is a pan-tropical weed, that is it can be grow anywhere around the area or the forest area or any other soil it thrives, and it has to be in the warmer climate, and it also poses a great threat to the shola forest around Kerala. And the habitat of this Lantana camara is grown, it can be seen around forest edges, open canopies, degraded lands and distributed soil. And what is the significance with respect to Lantana camara in Himachal Pradesh is that according to the Indian State of Forest report 2023, the infestation of this species is around 3,252.82 square kilometers of area has been infested by this Lantana camara, and in the recent trend it was expanding its propagation from lower to higher elevations, and it also affects the circles of Himachal Pradesh around Dharmashala, Nahan, Hamirpur, Chamba, Bilaspur and Mandi and Shimla. And what is the major impact that poses the Lantana camara and a major threat to the biodiversity or the ecology around the Himachal Pradesh is that the allelopathic toxins released by this Lantana camara suppresses the germination of other biodiversities or the other flora around this species, and it also inhibits the growth of other species, and it creates a dense thickets like propagation. As it propagates or germinates faster than other species, it creates a homogeneous vegetation which leads to the biodiversity loss, or it suppresses the germination of other species, and it also blocks the natural regeneration by suppressing the sunlight, nutrients and space provided for the other species to thrive. And with respect to the impact on the wildlife, it also reduces the native fodder availability for cattle and other species, and it also may be a threat to the other habitats of other species as well as animals, flora as well as fauna. And as the species, this Lantana camara can spread faster and rapid manner, it can also lead to forest fires, and its toxins can suppress other organisms to thrive. And what are the management efforts or the actions taken to eliminate this species, or the cut root stock of method, which is uprooting the root of this species from the earth, and to prevent the regrowth of this species and to cut down the entire root from the soil, and subsequently replacing by or replanting native species for further germination of the native species. And the progress of this effort was around 51,114 hectares of land has been cleared for native germination since 2009 to 2010, and the state policy also has emphasis the large scale intervention needs to be taken to eliminate this species and to enhance the regermination or the regeneration of the native species. Moving to the prelims practice question, which of the following are impacts of Lantana camara infestation? It produces allelopathic chemicals that suppresses growth, which is a correct statement, which is the major causative mechanism for inhibiting the growth of other species. And the second statement, facilitates rapid regeneration of native flora, which is directly incorrect because it leads to the degeneration of native species, and it occupies the space for other species to thrive. And the third statement, creates homogeneous vegetation leading to biodiversity loss, which is correct because it creates its own homogeneous species of Lantana Camara by suppressing or eliminating other species from this area. So the third statement is correct. And the fourth statement, reduces availability of fodder and wildlife habitat, which is also incorrect because it reduces the availability of fodder, as it cannot be taken as a fodder as it contains toxins, and it also has some thorny like structure, so it cannot be acted as a fodder. So the fourth statement also correct. And by eliminating the second statement from the option, we can cut short the options to one, A and B. By knowing the answer, we can arrive at the answer of B, option 1, 3 and 4. Moving to the next topic. In the recently released 10th report by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, criticizes the move by the Ministry of Rural Development on the move to disengage this institution from the Ministry of Rural Development. That the institution which got the proposal to disengage by the Ministry of Rural Development was the National Institution for Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, which is a think tank, and it was established in the year of 1958 as the National Institute of Community Development in Mussoorie, but it got later shifted to Hyderabad in the year of 1965, and it got renamed as the National Institute of Rural Development in the year of 1977, and later it got renamed as today as National Institution for Rural Development and Panchayati Raj in the year of 2013. As I said, it is a think tank for both the Ministry of Rural Development and Ministry of Panchayati Raj. And according to the National Institution of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, it was an age-old institution established around 70 years ago, and presently it got the headquarters or the location located in the Hyderabad region. And the major mandate or the major function of this think tank is to create a capacity building effort and training, research, policy support in rural development and Panchayati Raj areas. And it also has the peculiarity, and it also familiar for the supporting flagship rural programs like MG Naregas and other Swachh Bharat mission like etc. And it also trains the civil servants, Panchayati Raj representatives who are elected, as well as the representatives from the Panchayati Raj. And it also has the global recognition as an academic excellence in this area of rural development. And the key issues raised during this proposal was a strategic drift is the first, because it undermines the long-term research and the national priorities is the quoted highlight feature of this proposal to disengage from this organization. But the second was the governance concern, as this mechanism of institution weakens the institutional capacity as well as the rural development mechanism promoted by this Ministry of Rural Development, as well as the loss of alignment with the rural ecosystem shows a concern towards the institution. And the third issue raised was the financial and operational impact, as it possesses no real cost on savings, as well as increased duplication and burden for the Ministry of Rural Development to maintain this institution, as well as to maintain the rural development activities in an indigenous manner, as this organization is an autonomous body. And there is a financial instability around this National Institution for Rural Development and Panchayati Raj also shows a great concern. And what the panel recommends for this disengaging move was to not disengage from this institution as it holds some value, and instead of disengaging from this, we can easily strengthen the bond between the structural reforms, decentralizing decision making activities, and also grant adequate funding in aid, and to also create a greater autonomy over the rural development and Panchayati Raj areas or issues. And we also has to recommend or recognize the National Institution for Rural Development and Panchayati Raj as a national center for excellence, to make as an esteemed institution, to create a certain value, to promote its autonomy, or to showcase its excellence across rural development and Panchayati Raj. Moving to the prelims practice question, the National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj is primarily engaged in implementation of MG Narega projects, policy advocacies for tribal welfare, capacity building and training in rural development, direct rural infrastructure development. And the answer is C, capacity building and training in rural development is the utmost primary feature of this National Institution for Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. In the recent research done by the IIT Bombay shows significant result in the irrigation plan of India's certain areas, and it is devised as the smart irrigation model for drought affected areas in India. It is in news because a team of researchers from IIT Bombay and the IIT Bombay and the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, which was headed in Pune, developed a smart irrigation advisory model for the drought-prone areas to for irrigation purpose, and it also helps to reduce the water usage for irrigation by around 10 to 30% in drought prone regions, and it got no impact on the crop yielding capacity while saving water also. And with respect to the smart irrigation advisory system, it was developed by Indian Institute of Technology Bombay and the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology Pune. The purpose of this smart irrigation advisory system is to optimize the irrigation capacity as well as the using the weather forecast instruments like weather forecast, soil moisture and crop models to create a specific irrigation mechanism or the advisory program to maximize the saving effort of water. And it also uses the weather forecast well ahead of 1 to 3 weeks of the certain area that it got involved, and the soil and satellite data of that specific area for better analysis of that area, and crop eco hydrological simulation models. And what was the expected outcome is to recommend the optimal irrigation timing and the amount of water involved for this irrigation purpose. And with respect to the water saving and the significance of this advisory program of crop irrigation is that it shows a significant development in the production of Nashik grapes around, and it also has the saving of water from 30% on that area. And with respect to the West Bengal region, Bankura, maize, wheat, sunflower, groundnut and sugarcane like mixed crops shows the water saving capacity around 10 to 30%. And this smart irrigation plan promotes climate resilient agriculture as well as reduce the groundwater extraction from that area in a over exploitation manner. And it also supports the sustainable farming or the sustainable agriculture as well as to maintain a drought resistant manner. And what is the proposed next step in this irrigation plan, smart irrigation plan, is to deploy the field sensors along the region, drought prone regions, as well as to monitor or to or to advise the farmers in a real time manner to plan, and it also has the plan to integrate or scaling drought prone districts all along the India. And some of the drought prone areas in India are listed below, and the major areas are from Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Telangana, Gujarat, Bundelkhand region, Odisha, West Bengal also has some significant areas of drought prone area. And irrigation challenges provided or the involved in the drought prone regions are as follows, that are over extraction or over exploitation of groundwater resources for irrigation capacity, and low irrigation efficiency because of this over extraction, as well as the drought prone regions involves more water, or they may not get the sufficient water, and the farmers of this drought prone regions will cultivate high intensive crops on the drought areas because they believe on monsoon, but they on failing of this monsoon, it will lead to the irrigation efficiency into a dip. And other major challenges for the irrigation is that poor canal maintenance, high dependency on monsoon, and the high evapotranspiration losses because of the intensive heat or the water holding capacity of that area weather. What are the government schemes relevant to this smart irrigation program or the plan, or sustainable agriculture as a whole, is that the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, which has a tagline called Harget Ko Pani, which is water to every field. It expands the irrigation program all along the across India, and the per drop more crop scheme also promotes the micro irrigation focus, and the DAPA, that is drought, and the DPAP program, which was merged into the integrated watershed management program, which also has the mitigation process for the drought resistance India, and the integrated watershed management program, which specifically focus on the soil management as well as the water conservation. And the final scheme was the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, which primarily focused on the climate resilience agriculture practices and other climate related agriculture practices. Moving to the prelims practice question, match drought prone regions with its dominant problems. Here are some of the list of regions which are drought prone, that is Marathwada, Saurashtra, Rayalaseema, Bundelkhand. The Marathwada region is from Maharashtra, Saurashtra is from Gujarat, Rayalaseema is from Andhra Pradesh, and the Bundelkhand is from the regions of high open field regions in the Indian mid regions. And it was matched subsequently in a correct manner. A is 1 and 2, B is 2, C is 3 and D is 4. Hope you guys like the video. Please share your answers and the positive comments in the comment section given below, and share the video to your friends and the aspirants who are preparing for the UPSC for daily current affairs analysis, and stay in touch with us by subscribing to our Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel.